Dr. Jere here with Mills Chiropractic and Wellness Center, and this month we've been focused on neck pain. And a lot of people can obviously recognize when they have neck pain that it's a neck problem, or even headaches. A lot of times they recognize that can start in the neck and work their way up into the head. But what I wanted to talk today about a little bit was hand pain, wrist pain, arm pain. Those are common things that we see in the clinic, but a lot of times patients don't recognize that oftentimes the culprit of those pains actually starts all the way up in the neck. One of the those nerves that come through the neck, they go all the way down into the arms and into the hands. And if there's irritation, it shows itself up in other places. I kind of sometimes use the analogy of like the breaker box in your house, right? Like the brain is the power plant. It generates the electricity and the signal and the information and sends it to the house, and it comes into the house, and the breaker box is, in my analogy, is the spine, right? It determines where to send that information down and out to the rest of the body. And then once it gets to the house, you know, the light switch and the light fixture, that electricity turns on and the light comes on, right? That's how it's designed to work. But if a light goes out in the house and the breaker has flipped and turned the switch, right, we can change the light bulb all we want, right? That light is not going to come back on until we address the issue back at the breaker box and flip the breaker, right? I know it's kind of a silly analogy, but in my brain it works, okay? And it always sounds better, I guess, in my brain than when I speed it out. But that's a lot of times, like I said, what we see with arm pain and neck pain or wrist pain and things like that, especially like carpal tunnel. You know, carpal tunnel, for instance, they say it, you know, for an analogy, let's say it takes 100 pounds of pressure to pinch that nerve off. Well, a lot of times we're getting 50, 60, 70, 80 pounds of pressure up in the neck, maybe a little bit in the shoulder, maybe a little bit at the elbow, and then the last 20 pounds in the wrist. And so by the time it gets to the wrist, we've completely cut off that nerve, right? Or at least reduced its capacity. And so we end up with the numb hand and the tingling fingers, which, you know, we can work on the wrist and reduce some of the pressure, but most of the pressure a lot of times is coming up from the neck. And unless we release that pressure, the symptoms tend to come back oftentimes, right? And so, you know, one of the things, basically what I just wanted to kind of bring to our attention today was the fact that don't just think of neck pain as being a sign of a neck problem. The other thing I pulled out of the research as I was getting ready for this week was that the new research is 86% of disc bulges in the neck can be helped through chiropractic. That's pretty phenomenal. That's pretty good results. If you ask me, 86% of even disc bulges up here in the neck are improved through chiropractic care. So sometimes when we have those pinched nerves or that arm pain, you know, a lot of times, especially if we go the medical route, we head our way towards surgery pretty quickly. And, you know, there's oftentimes safer, more convenient, effective treatments before we reach that point. So if you know somebody or you yourself suffer with wrist pain, arm pain, hand weakness, tingling in the fingers, those are all signs that, you know, maybe they should come see a chiropractor, right? And a lot of what we do in the office, patients really enjoy. We get great results with neck issues, and the fact that we use a lot of gentle techniques is very appealing to a lot of people. So if you know somebody, of course, you know as well, if you have a problem, let us know. Let's see if we can help. Let's try to heal some of these problems before we get all the way to where we need surgery or some more advanced procedure, right? So I hope you got something from today's talk. Until next time, stay healthy, stay well.